Oh, man, I can see it. I saw the photos of you setting up. I think did
Yeah.
you put something on social media with you and the missus?
No, yeah, just a couple stories, nothing crazy. Oh, we're
Oh,
live.
that's cool, man. I saw the it's actually a good feeling when you end up. We are live, by the way. Not that I really care, but it's a good feeling that when you just move in, you have like your first meal sitting on the floor and shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's dope. All right. Thanks to anybody that's tuning in. I'm sure people will come in a little bit soon. 2-2 in extra time. Probably didn't want the 120 minutes under our belt, but after Rannochia turned in one of the biggest stinkers ever, he has scored one of the best goals I've seen in the Coppa Italia. And he loves this tournament, man. You remember even under Spalletti, he'd come in and score absolute belters.
He's the man.
He's
And
still the
only
man, bro.
on the field, Alexis Sanchez.
That's it, man. That's it. Oh, bro. Today was an example of a lot of players that like it's you play football more than I do, man. It's a little dangerous when you rotate one too many and you chuck in like literally 7 or 8 players that just aren't good enough. And you know, at the end of the day, Alpa says it well. It's not like we're playing Lecce or Regina. Like this Empoli team is actually one of the better football playing sides in Serie A this season.
Yeah, they can bowl. I mean, I've said it on so many podcasts, and like every time we play them, every time I'm on here, Cultural Connection, where they're talking about the fixtures. Empoli's a good team. Like
Yeah.
they move the ball very well and borderline effective. They're like one of those weird teams where like they're a bunch of park players where they can do everything on their own, but when it comes to a collective unit, something always breaks apart. Like defensively, they're going to have their lapses because they're not the most skilled bunch, but they can play. You give them the ball, you give them a counterattack, they'll just go at you. They have nothing to lose, and it's a team where they can be lethal at times, where they'll catch you sleeping. They have Cutrone, they have Pinamonti, they have Barami, who's been phenomenal this year. I watched this guy play, and I'm like, this guy is
Yeah.
he's the heart of their team. He's been so good, and like they can, like I said, they can play it. I can't even explain it because when you watch them, it's quick. It's 1-2. It's almost like fun to watch. Where you don't really get that aspect from a lot of the teams. Where Inter is sort of robotic at times. Milan,
Yeah.
they're dirty when they not dirty like physically, but like it's not a clean win. They'll scrape the win. It's clunky. These guys, when they move the ball, it's like holy shit. They just put like 6 passes together on a counterattack and made you look stupid.
Yeah, 100%. Where are you watching the game anyway? What network are you watching on?
I'm watching on Paramount right now. I'm at the
Oh,
90th
cool. How's the
minute.
coverage?
It's been good. I mean, I've been watching it on and off because started a new job and have been meetings all day. But
Yeah.
it's been pretty good. I they don't really announce that like they're showing the Coppa Italia because they put it under the Serie A section and it kind of like throws you off. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's been good though. I have no complaints.
Yeah, man. I'm watching it on Bet365 at the moment.
Uh, That's they just started getting betting in New York finally. It's a miracle.
Bro, after all this time, they've just started betting it properly, eh? Sports betting, right?
They only have 3 sports books that you can bet from,
Yeah.
believe it or not. So they handcuff us. I want this game to go to penalties.
I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest. I was just pissed off at how poor we handled the game after we scored the opening goal. Because with the way Empoli played, I honestly thought that we'd be able to, just stick it to them a bit more. But just so out of fluid in midfield, man, which is what you can expect with a big piece of steak like Vidal, Gagliardini, and Vecino moving around. There's no creativity whatsoever.
Messi stinks. He just needs to be sold to.
He does.
Like
Were there any changes at the start of extra time? I was setting up the stream.
I don't think so, but I know Sensi subbed on.
Sensi subbed on.
Sensi subbed on like a few minutes in.
So he's not doing a medical or he's not in transit to Genoa? I thought he was in transit to Sampdoria.
I think they made the principal agreement, but it's not all said and done yet. So this is probably his farewell match.
Okay, cool. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. Oh, that could be a penalty. Nah, no penalty. Bro, Correa, useless on 2 legs at the moment, man. I'm starting to doubt it. Especially for the price tag.
Yeah, is it an optional fee? or is it mandatory?
Someone in the chat kept saying that we've already agreed and we've already paid, but I don't think Marotta and Inter are the type to really do that early, man.
Yeah,
I reckon maybe there might be a couple clauses where we can negotiate that price down a bit.
I feel like it was a principal agreement for a 2-year loan, and then we pay like 5 up front or something like that. Something weird. They structured it like over time, so I feel like it is mandatory from what I remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like a minute behind you. I just saw the Perisic potential.
Where it went down. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they delayed.
If they score, I'll try and celebrate, or if we score, I'll try to not celebrate.
That's fine. Just celebrate. I don't care. I like when it's spoiled for me, honestly, because then I get something to look forward to. So this way I can be like, oh shit, Rannochia's about to score a bicycle. Let me prove this. Let me get ready for this. And then it happens. I'm like, oh.
Crossing from Danilo. Oof, that almost went in from Jekyll. Yeah, we had to go desperate mode, bringing in all the players that were pretty much going to start against Venezia.
Yeah, Dumfries is having a pretty good game.
Yeah. Once again, he's having a pretty good game.
He's been much better since I started talking shit about him.
Yeah.
But his finishing, he needs to go to finishing school. Him and Lautaro.
Yeah, Lautaro's finishing is just not on, bro. It's not on.
It's on or it's off. It's always hit or miss. Dumfries gets way too many chances where he could be like he himself could be a 15-goal player a year as a right back. Let's put it that way. But because he's so inefficient, that he turns into a 4 or 5. Yeah, and it's a great number. Don't get me wrong, but when you look at like the whole story and you say, okay, this guy could have, if you run it back and look at all the chances in like a video, you'd be like, this guy could have scored fucking 20 goals. Yeah. Like everything, back post, header. Instead of heading it on goal, he heads it like straight down, or he heads it over, or he heads it cleanly on his foot. It's a volley. Instead of placing it or hitting it, it's like a limp foot that he lets just the ball die into the keeper's hands, or he mishits it. Or
and
one
he takes despite those bad decisions, he still walked away with 2 assists today already. Like
he's like the gripe I had with Icardi as a right back almost, because I was like, with Icardi, I was like, if this guy can get on the ball more, instead of scoring 1 goal a game, he could score 4.
Yeah! Oh baby, Stefano motherfucking Sensi from almost outside the box. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Come on. What is going on with this club, bro? What is going on? They're all hugging him. They're all like, oh, it's sad, Mario, man. It's like that one kid in your group at school who is nowhere near as athletic or as cool as you, but you love him. He's been there since kindergarten and he's never leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just saw the goal now. What a nice goal.
It's a Sensi goal, bro. Oh, man.
Expect nothing less. I mean, if the guy could stay healthy, he's a good fucking player. But the problem is, that's why I hate him. He never plays.
That's it.
I hate it.
Yeah. Give me a sec, bro. I'm just gonna see if my dog's okay.
Yeah. Tell him I say hi. Oh, I'm not gonna keep the dead stream, but like, what's going on here? See, like, this is what I'm talking about from Empoli, where one defensive lapse will cost them the game. So the defender wins the ball and gives it right back to us on the top of the 18.
41 people watching into worldwide. Thank you, guys.
So I don't know if you just heard what I was saying.
What'd you say?
This is like exactly how I explained Empoli. They win the ball on the top of the box and they give it right back to us on the top of the box, and then they lose 3-2 on some bullshit. Like, mentally they're just not there. They're just not a strong team, and that's the only thing they're lacking. If they had consistency, really, they'd be a mid-table team at the very least. They have potential with their play style, with their tactics, with the coach, with the players they currently have.
I'm very glad that they're going to survive the season. On my Serie A our roundtable with a couple of our Aussie friends, we've been saying, like, there are too many teams in Serie A, like your Genoas and Cagliaris, who have been mooching and taking this country and this league for a ride. There shouldn't be 20 clubs in this league, and now they're getting found out by the likes of Empoli or even Venezia, who might even get enough points, or Spezia, who'll get enough points to solidify themselves in Serie A.
Venezia bringing in Nani's huge.
He was so good for those 18 minutes, man. It was like a different class of player.
Yeah, he's been an excellent. I've always loved how he played. He's always been like that flary, do-it-yourself kind of player who just never really had that winning mentality. Even playing with Ronaldo and under Ferguson, he just wasn't that kind of guy. He was a role player in those teams, and then he goes to what was it, Inter Miami, where the hell it was in MLS, and it's just like this guy's just fucking around and having fun. And he goes to Venezia now, and then you see Nani, big name. Venezia's gonna get fans to come just because they want to watch Nani. They want to see what he does. He's 35 years old, but he makes the game fun. So, on their end, they're gonna sell a lot of shirts. It's a good investment for them.
100%. Can't believe Sensi just got on the score sheet with a beautiful, beautiful goal, and the way they all reacted, you could tell, like, fucking hell. You got to feel for the guy after that. He's like, why now? I've been waiting so long just to have 5 good minutes, and now I get to score. Anyway, better late than never. But Emiliano's in the chat. How you doing, Hendrix? King Abdullah. We're not blaming Inzaghi for playing, but no, you can't blame the coach for this, man. At the end of the day, Inzaghi's been running a lot of our team into the ground lately. He's been doing well, and the team's been doing well. Hindsight is 2020, and the rotation is almost a must. You need to be able to expect that some of these players can still play. I can guarantee you guys, like as Mario's saying and people are saying, Empoli's tough. This if we were against a Serie B side or a team even lower than Empoli, we probably would have run away with this game, and we would have been all going, Grande Inzaghi for letting everybody rest.
Yeah.
Khaled, no Brozovic, no. Yeah, like let's not even talk about how important it is to get that contract renewed and just make sure that that's done.
Mm-hmm.
We look like a 2018 Inter team today. Yeah, the lack of fluidity in midfield, but it is what it is, man.
We subbed out like 7 starters.
Yeah.
So
Bruno says,
fluid game.
What happens if at the end of today Inzaghi goes to Marotta and goes, just keep him here, just to guarantee the Scudetto, just to make sure I've got something technical in case Marcelo or in case Hakan. I know it's one of those things you probably regret straight away.
You can't rely on him for that. That's the problem. Like you could say, like, yeah, in hindsight, if in a perfect world he doesn't get hurt, but he's going to get hurt more often than not.
Yeah,
that's the shitty part about it, because he's a phenomenal player, and as much as I hate him only because he gets injured, you can't be like, all right, we have 4 center mids the rest of the season. Sensi's one of them. No, you have 3 center mids. One person's going to get hurt. Now you're down center mid. So what's the point? He's not even depth at this point. He's just a roster filler.
Yeah. All right, second half, man. 15 minutes to go. Hopefully it doesn't go into penalties now that we've got the lead. But Empoli should be throwing the kitchen sink at us in the next 15 minutes. So if we can grab the 4-2, I think it's more likely to end 4-2 than 3-3. But once again, if it's 3-3, it is what it is. I hope
you go to penalties.
Like it's weird being in this position where you've just won the Super Coppa and the goal to win the Scudetto is so in your line of vision that this Coppa game almost doesn't seem like a big deal. Like for me personally, Mario, I'm looking at the grid. I'm like, if we go through in this round, we'll have Lecce or Roma in the next one. We should win that. So really, Inzaghi, who is a decent cup coach, is about 2.5, 3 games away from a potential another trophy. If we go through today, we just have to go for it full on.
Yeah. How do you feel about Radu playing today?
I knew he wasn't going to do anything special because we've waited way too long to rotate him in or to give him a chance. We've waited way too long. And I'm sure if Bastoni, De Vrij, and Skriniar were playing, we'd be sitting here going, hey, Radu's a pretty decent makeshift keeper. But it's no one's individual fault today, Mario. It's a completely different Inter side that's on this pitch today from the rest of the season. Completely different, man.
I think he's making a lot of little mistakes. Like regardless,
the team does not trust him. They are not passing the ball back to him. He is not coming out to receive. He's not communicating either. There's been a couple of times where 9 times out of 10, even under pressure, we play it back to Handanovic. With half the pressure, we're not playing it back to Radu.
Yeah, like Radu came out to the top of the box in the first half of the game. He stood at the top of the box, waiting for a ball to come for no freaking reason, and then he heads it. He could have waited and caught the ball or done like anything else, or he could have not come out in the first place. He comes out, he heads the ball right back to the Empoli player, I think it was, or he kicked it to him, something stupid, and 20 yards away, the guy hits it straight up in the air, goes up for a goal kick, but I'm like, what is this guy doing right now? Like, the decision-making on the ball is terrible when he's under pressure. And then in the second half, they pass it back to him. He goes to clear it, a diagonal ball on the floor to straight to Cutrone or whoever it was. And, 25 yards out, they're on a counterattack, and it's like 2 against 3.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they messed it up and whatever, but if you're in a situation against that, like Morata, Dybala, you give it to Milan, you give it to Lazio, or Immobile, you're going to have problems. It's not going to just be the guy kicks it straight out of bounds.
Yeah.
Creating trouble for yourself. And sure, it's inexperience, it's lack of playing time, but the guy lost his job at Genoa.
That's it.
He had the chances. Handanovic's spot was there for the taking many times.
It was. Yeah, you're right. And like at the end of the day, it's easy for us to say it behind a computer screen, but don't forget, there's a bunch of professionals watching these guys in training 5 days a week minimum, and they know a lot more than we do about who's ready.
And that's what I tell you and Christian every time you guys criticize Handanovic. I'm like, it could be worse. Like, Handanovic is still a world-class keeper. Fuck you, Christian. I talk shit about it.
If I call it horrible, but yeah. So right now we're at 10 minutes to go in normal time. Mario, for some reason my browser closes and I cut out. Just hold it down for 15 seconds and I'll be back. Gerald says, for everyone who wants to blame Radu, just know he scored more goals than Lautaro today. Very, very nice. God, Lautaro was useless today. Hopefully no Handa sub for penalties. Nah, if you're going to go with Radu and it ends up 3-3, you give him a chance, because that's usually what happens with goalkeepers when they stink it up, Mario. They make some bullshit save in a penalty shootout, man. It happens on every level.
But Handanovic is a top goalkeeper for penalties. We forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario Dumfries is the least of our problems. We need to worry about getting a new striker. Rannochia is a better finisher than Lautaro. That finish, man. That finish. Textbook Rannochia.
Right? I expect nothing less than from him.
How you going, Balkan Warrior? Reza in the chat. Benjamin says, hello, Anthony and Mario. Anthony looks so stressed. I'm not stressed, man. I'm just a little bit on edge. Trust me. If it was a Serie A game, you know me, I wouldn't have started really doing the watch along before until the end of the game. But it's Coppa Italia, man. You got to enjoy it a little bit. The same way Mario's a little looser. We won the Scudetto last season. We're going for the Scudetto. It's not like we're fifth trying to come for top 4 going, oh my God, we need a trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want penalties in this game. I don't even care. I want to see penalties in any country.
You're all about the entertainment and the drama, bro.
I love it. I live for it. I would rather lose in penalties than win this game in 120 minutes. Just because.
We don't need to worry about Radu when we have Onana and Handa next season. Yeah, to be honest, Radu's out the door, man. He won't want to take the third goalkeeper spot. He'll need to be a starter at a shit team or a reserve at a mid-table side.
They're going to have a low-wage third keeper.
Yeah. Really shows how we lack finishing in front of goal with our attackers. The game should have been killed off today. Yeah, look, at the moment, it's Alexis who's probably the most informed attacker, and that's a little bit worrying because you can't 100% bank on him to have a great day against a big side. On paper, Mario, Dzeko, Sanchez, Correa, Lautaro, it's good. But in reality, there's plenty of holes there, man. Swiss cheese.
So many holes. It's like they still haven't figured out the way to rotate them and cover the most ground effectively, because like I always say, when you have the two forwards, they have to complement each other. Like you can't have the two forwards dropping too far back, because then you have nobody up, which is usually Lautaro, but he likes to get into different spaces. Whereas Alexis also, they like to find different spaces. It could work, but it's one of those things where you end up looking like Empoli, like a park team, where you're playing, but there's no end product, where you need the Dzeko to just stretch the game a little bit, open the defenders, post up a man, hold up the ball. It's a different approach to the game, where you just open angles. Like when Icardi played, one-dimensional. There was one thing. It was right side cross, left side cross. That was it. We didn't have anything other than that. Where now that we have the two striker system, there's a lot more flexibility where they're playing off of each other. There's just constant there's just constant fluctuation in how we attack.
Yeah. Thank you to the 42 people that are here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it around, all that fancy stuff. Whereabouts did you move anyway, man? Did you move far out from where you were before with your parents?
20 minutes away. I was in the east side of Queens. Now I'm in the west side. I'm closer towards Raf from Napoli. I think.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
So is that like closer to Midtown in the city or further away?
closer to Midtown. So
Closer.
we moved because of work, pretty much. My fiance was commuting like an hour and a half every day, and she's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
got a
a
job in
long
the
time.
city, and so we're just like we're gonna move closer. So now it's like
Yeah.
20 minutes, half hour, easy.
Nah, that makes a big difference mental health wise, man. You don't want to waste 3 hours of your day on travel time, man. It all adds up at the end of the week. It's a joke.
She likes to run like 10 miles, so she's like, it's either I run 5 o'clock in the morning and I hate myself, or I can get home and not have to worry about eating dinner and going to sleep right after it.
Yeah, you're right. Chopping Mall says, how many great finishing strikers are there out there that we can afford? Dude, when you actually look at strikers who know how to finish left, right, and center, it's a dying breed. They are nowhere near as focused as they used to be. But I think a big problem, Mario, we know that the best strikers in the world tend to mature in their late 20s. I think the world puts a way too much emphasis on goal scorers way too early on in their career.
Mhm.
Like, this is too much. Like, you can't be slapping $35 million price tags on your Skamarkas. And up until a few weeks ago, I would have said this whole Vlahovic hype needs to take a step back a little bit. But at the moment, I'd say Vlahovic is probably the only one living up to his tag.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing clubs like Bayern, like Arsenal, like City enter the race, because he is now out of Serie A's price range altogether. Altogether, the guy's out of Serie A's price range, unless he desperately wants to move to Inter or Juve and he holds out.
If he it comes down to the only way he's going to stay in Italy is if he wants to stay in Italy. That's really what it comes down to, because
he doesn't strike me as the type that wants to stay, bro. He looks pretty selfish and like he's ready. He looks like he values himself as a gun, and he's like, I'm going somewhere.
Why would you stay in Italy for 3-4 million euros when he can go anywhere else for double?
I'm pretty sure if Pep Guardiola calls you and goes, want to score 30 goals a season in the most entertaining league in the world and get paid out of your ass for it, he's going to say yes.
Bonuses, straight up wages, the sponsors, it all goes hand in hand at the end of the day. Like, you're not just making 4 million off of Inter. There's so much other stuff, and then you're in better hands with agents and your image and all that. So people think about that, and maybe their dream is to play in the Premier League. It's all a whole bunch of other things. And he loved Inter when he was a kid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if Juve calls him and he says they're going to pay him 10 million,
which they won't, but still. What about Dybala?
But it's possible where they do some shit like that, and they're like, I kind of have to, and they're like, I'm sorry. Sure, some players will say no, respect to them, but there's a lot.
The thing is that his contract isn't up at the end of this. Is it up at the end of this season or next season?
No idea.
I don't know. I have no idea. You're getting a little bit hyped about the whole Dybala thing. If it does happen, what a messy situation Juve are in to let that guy walk for free.
Yeah, we don't got to worry about Correa. We don't got to worry about Alexis. We don't got to worry about nobody. We get Dybala. We have the three strikers in Dzeko, Lautaro, Dybala, and then
imagine Dybala playing off Lautaro, man.
Come on now, that's a dream right there.
See, now Matt's saying that it's June 2023 that Vlahovic runs out. This is what's telling me he's moving. He doesn't love Florence. There's no way Vlahovic is going to spend another year at Fiorentina just to agree a free move to Juventus later on. I reckon he wants out now. And I reckon that Commisso has to be telling him, leave now. You can leave now. You wanted your wish, leave now. I need some moolah. Make it work for everybody. As if Commisso's going to...
If he tears his ACL, ruptures his Achilles, someone like that 60 million goes right away. That 100 million goes right away.
It's Fiorentina, man. If someone offers you $60 million, you take that money for Fiorentina and you make sure that your club is safe and okay.
If he has a bad season, the money's gone. It's dried up. How many times have we seen strikers that were so good for a year or 2 years and then they stay and then all of a sudden they fall off?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Guys, like and subscribe the video, share it around the socials and whatnot. We have 2.5 minutes to go until, hopefully for me, we go through to the quarters. Mario's holding out for penalties and a little bit more entertainment, but looks like we might be able to see this out as we have a goal kick with about 2 minutes left. The only concern I have now is that players who probably shouldn't have got minutes did get minutes. But Mario, would you say it's not detrimental for athletes at this level, like your Barelas, Perisic? Like, big deal. They came on and played 26 minutes, 27 minutes in total today. They needed some sort of run.
It's not that bad, honestly. Like they're training every day, where they're doing intensive kind of workouts where you see them sprinting through the cones to the poles. They're not just sitting there juggling soccer balls for 3 hours. They're doing intense training, and then they train on their own. They're training 2-3 times a day sometimes.
I think
So
Spalletti did the right thing by starting some of his players against Fiorentina in the Coppa, knowing true and well it would be a hard game. But hey, at least those players will be match fit and they'll win in Serie A on the weekend. And that's exactly what they did. Rather than have them do some physical workout that had no tactical implementation, he got them on the pitch against Fiorentina to make sure they got 3 punti against Bologna.
yeah, I mean they know what they're doing. They know how to keep their team fit. And if they say, hey, I haven't played in a few days, can I get some minutes? He might throw him in there. He might start him, whatever the case is. The Vecinos, the Gagliardinis, they need to play in matches. So this way, when something happens, God forbid, they can just jump in and they're not going to look 100 miles an hour slower.
What we've been talking about has happened 3 times in the last 3 minutes. Di Marco, Rannochia, and Barella have all had a chance to play it square back to the keeper for a 20-second break, and no one wants a bar of passing this ball to Radu. They would rather risk a pass to the wing. Crazy. We got 55 seconds.
It's crazy just because they don't trust him, and yeah, look, so many times I'm watching it now. They could just go back and kill the game off 30 seconds, 40 seconds. They'd rather lose the ball in the middle of the field trying to get it to Dzeko.
Empoli are all out of position here defensively, and we're just knocking the ball around now.
Yeah, they're see, this is where it all goes wrong. Once they go down and they have to buckle down, falls apart.
Yeah. I would love this to happen, Matt. If Arsenal are back in the Champions League, Vlahovic will go there as a replacement for Aubameyang. To be honest, man, go to a club like Arsenal. I reckon he does very, very well, where the ceiling is high, but the expectations are not at the moment. And for a player like him, I actually think he'll do well. We've got 5 seconds left in the fixture, Mario. Let's watch closely. I don't think there'll be any extra time after this. But Sensi distributes a decent ball, comes back to him. Ref blows the whistle. Inter are through to the quarterfinals, eh?
Nice.
There it is. Stefano Sensi. The reaction from the team towards him afterwards when he scored, it was very, very, very sympathetic. It was empathetic. It was really, really nice. I'll be very keen to hear, because no doubt the post-match interviews, there'll be a couple of Sensi questions in there.
Yeah, we're one step closer to another tripleta.
Honestly, man. Honestly. But it's just good to keep that hype.
Coppa Italia and Scudetto. That's a trouble right there.
It is, man. It is. And to be honest, the best part about this victory is not necessarily about us. It's more so about the group of fans who watched us go 2-1 down, the Milan fans and the Juve fans, and probably thought, yes, I get to go to bed happy tonight. Not so much. Not so much. But that's okay. Football is fickle. It is fickle, man. When Andrea Rannochia is scoring a borderline scissor kick, man, you know that you need to leave your faith in a higher power sometimes, guys.
I would have walked off the field if Rannochia scored a bicycle on me.
Yo, bro.
I would have said, you know what? We're done here.
Yeah. Guys, let us know what you thought of the match in the chat. It was really good to be able to connect with Mario in here. I'm going to stick around for about another 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and we'll see if anything comes up on Twitter. For me personally, in the first half, there was very little control after the game. Good goal from Alexis Sanchez. It will always impress me. He will always impress me with, once he's in the air and connects with a header, for someone his size, bro, that guy's a drill sergeant when it comes to hitting the ball into the back of the net. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Is it ridiculous? It's all that upper body strength, man, being channeled in like while he's midair. Very fit dude.
I jump up for a header, the ball goes straight off. So it's lost.
Jacoboo, what's going on, cuz? What Inzaghi is doing with this Inter, despite the fact that our forwards can't finish, is commendable. Yeah, man, we're a couple of really good strikers and finishers away from scoring a lot more goals. King Darian in the house. Honestly, I was super nervous about this match. Benjamin says, I have a pressing question. Why didn't Inzaghi play at least one of the first team centre-backs? Bro, we have no explanation for this apart from the fact that, there's a lot of football coming at us really fast. I said this not yesterday, the day before. When Milan dropped points against Spezia, a little bit more of the Scudetto door creaked open, and you need to adjust for that a little bit. The game against Venezia now became a must-win to push on to the Scudetto, or literally win this. You've got it in both of your hands because you play Milan and Napoli next. Mario, how important is it to win against Venezia on Sunday? Because we will literally be dictating the next 2 games on our terms.
It's crucial. Like all these games against the small teams that you need to win have to be
Preach.
won. You can't win a Scudetto when you say, "Oh, let's just half-ass it against Venezia." We need to win against Juve, the Milans, the Napolis. It's not how you win a Scudetto off of 18 points. You need to beat every team. You need to kill them. You need to put them away in the first half. Who was I watching? Fiorentina the other day. They've been on and off this season. They started off really good, then they sort of fell it off, and now they're sort of figuring it out again. 3-0 in the first half. You put a game, you win a game like that. You know, you can coast. You can take the chances. You can make the subs that you need to make. But when you're 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, you're struggling because you put out a half-ass lineup. It's not going to work. It's not going to cut it. Like if you're not putting out a strong lineup against every team, you're not going to win a Scudetto. That's how it goes.
100%. 100%. Yeah, time to change the title of the video. I'll get on that as soon as I have a minute. But yeah, it's really good to go through to the quarters because we've got, for the first time in a long time, I'm looking at the bracket and we actually don't have a tough draw. I'll try and get it up now as we speak, actually. But Lecce or Roma in the next round, I think we'll win that one comfortably. I think we can start looking ahead to a semi-final fixture, which I think will be against either Milan or Lazio, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get it up now and we'll have a nice solid look.
I love all the comments saying keep Sensi. Hope they don't sell Sensi. Why sell him? He's not gonna do this ever. You're gonna keep a player because he wins you 2 games a season?
I think it's just because we see that without a Brozovic or even a Hakan there, we can't play a midfield, man. It's too meaty. It's too physical. Nothing's going to work. Maybe that's just the thing about keep Sensi till the end of the season and make sure he's there for a Scudetto and then you can loan him out for a whole season. But for him, he must be looking at his minutes. He must be looking at the national team, even though they haven't made the World Cup going. Like, I can't just sit on the bench. What am I going to do? Keep making stupid TikTok videos with my missus? Yeah, she's hot. We get it. But you play for Inter. Like, come on, man. The priorities, bro. I reckon he's a bit of a beta cuck and he's at home just not doing too much besides what his missus wants him to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care because whatever he's doing isn't working. Whatever the training staff is doing with him isn't working because he's always hurt. If he played 25, 30 games a year, and that's including the cups, including everything, shut my mouth. I don't care. I hope he stays. But when he's playing 12 games a year, like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you're just eating up a paycheck at this point. Like,
I'm going to go over to the comments for a sec. Make sure you like the video because there's 49 people here, 51 now. So I want to see those numbers and the likes get up. Share it around as well if you can. Alpa says, my special thanks goes to Rannochia and Sensi, but especially Rannochia tonight. Man, that tends to happen, bro, especially when someone stinks it up and I go around and trash them all over the media. They tend to know how to prove me wrong, which is good. Pazza Inter made a visit. Thanks for visiting, Huyan. I appreciate it.
I got people saying we need to keep Rannochia because he scored. Twice as much, and that's like 4 games.
Oh man, that's a good tweet for you to put out right there, man. I don't see anybody saying we should re-sign Rannochia because he scored. Future Hendricks, I'm not worried Inzaghi ball wrecks small and mid-tame tables. Yeah, man, like that's a big reason I'm not worried this season because there were so many games under Conte where I wasn't worried, but for a different reason. You know, it got to minute 85, I'm like, dude, the other team's tired. Lukaku and all 120 kilos of him is going to score a goal. Or Hakimi and all 95 kilometers of him is going to score a goal. Like, I'm not worried there. But this time I'm not worried because Inzaghi and Inter, when it comes to mid-table teams and lower-placed teams, we just control the game from start to finish. We have very small periods where we don't. And not so often we can see the goal. But here for the Sensi hype train, his transfer must be blocked. No, that's probably not going to happen. Super hyped about the derby already. Let's destroy Milan and kill the spirit. I think the derby against Milan is now really, really hyped. Really hyped. Yes, Benjamin Zenzi's loan is still definitely going through. We're not going to keep him. What's up, boys? We need Alvarez this month. Correa is not reliable. Yeah, Manny, I would have to agree, man. This Correa situation is looking a little rough. It's looking a little rough.
How are you going to say we should get rid of Correa but not Sensi?
That's the thing, bro. That's the thing. Not because the goal's distribution was sublime. You don't block a transfer because of a goal, pretty much. That's what Hendrik says. Roma 3-0 in the first half again. Fancy that. Look, I reckon Lecce's going to give them a run for their money. Don't completely pencil it in. So anyway, going to the bracket, I know people can't see it very clearly, but if you direct your attention to the top left, that's Juventus penciled in the first quarterfinal. That's Sassuolo up against them. Napoli at the bottom there will play the winner out of Fiorentina. Nope, they play Atalanta. My bad, I didn't scroll down far enough. Napoli, Atalanta. There's your juiciest fixture for the Coppa Italia quarterfinals. So Juve will have to play if they beat Sassuolo, Napoli, or Atalanta. You see what I mean, Mario? For the first time in what I can remember, we seem to have gotten a pretty good bracket in the Coppa. When it comes to the Coppa, we're always up against a tough side in the round of 16 or maybe a Lazio in the quarters. We might come up against Roma, but the way I see it, man, you might as well go into that quarterfinal trying to win it, because if we come up against Lazio or Milan in the semis, I think we can beat both of them as well without too much drama. So I get why you wanted to go to penalties today. My question to you is, now that the round of 16, the useless round of 16 is over, now we focus and we sweep the next 3 games and win the Coppa?
Why not? I mean, a cup is a cup at the end of the day. Like, I want to see penalties because I want the excitement. So I don't know. But when you look at it realistically, like, these players are going out there to win. Inzaghi's going out there to win. So when he puts on his resume, I won the Coppa Italia, I won the Supercoppa, I won the Scudetto with Inter, those are accomplishments where not many managers can say they've done that, especially other than Conte, who else? Allegri. There's not many successful coaches in Italy right there. Sarri, sure. But, it's a big accomplishment to win a trophy for any team, as small or big as it is. Like, sure, we don't have the luxury of saying we won the league 9 times. Now we have to, worry about the Champions League like Juve did. We don't have that. We won 1 championship, 1 Scudetto in 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
We need what we can get. We need to build the winning momentum. It's a mentality that Spalletti started from. It wasn't like a winning mentality, but it was a mentality. Then Conte turned it into a winner's mentality because he's been there, he's done that. Now the players know what it takes to win. So they're going to play every game to win, not because they have a paycheck, not because they love the game. They want to play to win. And it's a different mentality. It's like nothing else. Like, you can tell when a team wins and when a team doesn't. We're a winning team right now. It's obvious.
Yeah. It is obvious, man. It's really obvious that we're a winning team right now. I'll see if Hoyan wants to jump into this chat. He's a top dude. I'll also pin the comment. Guys, let me know if anybody wants to call in and have your say, or if anybody wants to join in. I'm going to try. I don't remember very often to start that trend where I pin the StreamYard link at the top of this box, and feel free to come in and have your say. This is everybody's platform, just as much ours as it is yours. It's really good to go in. It's really good to have 40 people watching as well. I just think now that going into Venezia, because I'm reading in their in our WhatsApp chats, just seeing it scroll past, apparently they might have a couple of COVID cases. And with the way that things have gone lately in the last few weeks, a precedent has been set where basically all games are going ahead unless you've got double digits out. So even if Venezia have 2 or 3 players that are out, we'll just have to play them in more of a depleted state. And I don't think any of us will be too concerned about that. Going into the game on the weekend, Mario, before I go to some of the comments and bring Hoyan in, what's your prediction, man? Do you think that this team will run all over Venezia?
I think it'll be like a 2 or 3-1 win. I think it's going to be closer than we expect, but we'll still make it like a very convincing game. Like 2-1 is like we'll be winning 2-0, and then all of a sudden, some shit happens. Or we'll be 1-1 and controlling the game, put another one away, and then we can't score a second goal or the third goal or whatever. But I'm confident we'll win, but I think it'll be a little bit closer. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was 2-0 last time, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? But it was 1-0 right up until like the last couple of seconds, and Lautaro scored a penalty.
Was that away?
It was away in Venice, yeah.
So maybe like a 2-0 then.
Well, we're very good at home. Anyway, I've sent the link out to my friend Hoyan. That's pinned at the top as well. If anyone wants to jump in, I'll stick around for about another 10 minutes. Mario, if you need to leave, you just let me know, man. Better off Sensi being a superstar at Sampdoria and we get 20 million for him in June. That's probably the best way of putting it, to be honest. The best way I've heard it put in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Better off him killing it at Sampdoria. They're coming, 15th, 16th at the moment. Maybe he puts in a few masterclasses and they finish well above the relegation zone and they make him their priority signing. It probably won't be 20, bro. Sampdoria probably doesn't have that sort of cash, but who knows, man? We'll see what happens.
It's one of those,
DJ Nusko.
it's one of those things where he's not going to do it with us. Give him the chance to do it somewhere else.
Yeah, fair. He has no future at Inter. There he is, just like straight up, man, goes, he has no future at Inter. Exactly. Keep him for the rest of the season, then simply get rid of him. That's not really how it works, but man, like the politics and the demographics changing your mind like that. Picture it this way: a quadruple O-N. That's your username. You can't just walk into training tomorrow and go, Stefano, you played well. You want to stick around a bit longer? You can't dangle people's career like that. This is still work at the end of the day, and this is still a job, and people have a job to do. Torsby for Sensi. Now, I've read that Torsby isn't too happy at Sampdoria and wants a little bit of a step up. I would take him 100%. That's a no-brainer because that's a sort of Hakan-like player with a little bit more agility. I'll take him 9 times out of 10 at the moment if we need to. Cheetor4 says the problem is always the same. If Sensi goes, somebody needs to be added to the squad and we don't have the money to waste. Yeah. Trust me, bro, Nathan Nantes was on the list up until he physically assaulted his missus or something like that. And I'm actually quite glad the club has took a stance against that because you don't want to be a part of that ball game at the moment, man. I guess Sensi scoring a goal today increased his value a bit. Definitely, Sensi is still better than Gagliardini and Vecino. When he plays, yeah, that's the key thing. When he plays, like, hey, what's going on, Hoyan? Love the threads.
You like it?
Yeah, I love the jumper as well. Mario, this is Hoyan. Hoyan, I'm sure you know Mario.
What's going on?
Hi, Mario. How's it going?
What do you think of the game, my man? You happy to go through to the quarterfinals?
Yes, but I would love less heart attack. Like I said, I sent that message out. I thought Pasta Inter was over, but I guess because we had some of the roots, like Gagliardini and Vecino, like I said, they brought it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy, man. I would not, as much as I would not hate to be out of the Coppa because I really want to focus on the league and get further in the Champions League. But going out in this round of 16 is just embarrassing, especially to the champs of Italy. We can't maybe semis, final, whatever, especially to an Empoli team.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't bothered for the banter today, man. I wasn't in the mood for it for everybody else. I know Mario doesn't care as much, but now that we're through to the quarterfinals, it's more respectable. There'll be no banter after this point for the quarterfinals.
If we did throw on like six starters at the end of the game, like all our subs were just basically starters.
Yeah. And then it wasn't like when we made it 3-2, the game was over, man. Like I was chilled. I was watching it. I'm just like, this Empoli team can't keep up with our starters. We just brought on Perisic, Barella, Hakan, and Dzeko. They're running them into the ground. Altogether, Hoyan, man, what did you make of the players that came in? We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. Radu today, obviously not his finest hour, but has barely played as well. Didn't have the best players in front of him. But I don't know if you caught towards the end of our watch along. What Mario and I were particularly fascinated in was that the players with the ball, even though they had time, were never giving it back to him. That system is set up for Handanovic. We're not playing the ball back to the feet of any other goalkeeper because we've only been doing it for one goalkeeper for 10 years now, pretty much. We ain't doing it for anybody else, man.
That's one thing I'm scared of Onana too, especially when he's integrating. Because if you guys remember, who was the back? Was it Padelli that used to be the backup? So Padelli, especially the backfield, especially if it's DeVry, Skriniar, Bastoni, they have utmost confidence in Handanovic. Of course, you should because they've been playing together for X amount of time. But when Padelli was in there, he could easily catch it, but you would see Bastoni clear the ball or DeVry get it out. They don't have that, cohesion. And you felt that with Radu, where they did not want to trust him with the ball. And a lot of times that he could have gave him an easy pass, he was just slamming it from the back. Maybe that's because the guy doesn't play that much. It's like asking one of us that's been on the couch for X amount of months to, hey, now you're gonna start a Serie A match or a Coppa Italia on this one.
It's confidence and it's the command of the box. Handanovic commands his box. Radu doesn't, and it's obvious.
It was obvious at the start of the game as well. Radu was just glued to his goal line. How you doing, Mo? Are you still in Vegas?
No. I came back Monday evening, Tuesday morning, to be honest. But I'm here just to say one thing. My man, Sensi, don't go. I love you, man.
It's so good to have the different.
Man, I love you, man. Just don't go. Can someone share this video with him? Man, this guy is the best midfielder in the world. Just give him time. It's gonna
Bro,
come back.
did you see when he scored the goal? It was like everyone walked up to the kid in school who hasn't been popular all year and just wanted
Yes.
to hug him and say, "It's all good,
No,
man.
That's
It's
it,
all
like,
good."
the guy that gets bullied all year finally hit the first punch,
It was like
and
that.
he won.
They let's
The
score.
guy
And then
went
they
down.
celebrate.
Go! This is it, man. But honestly, to be honest with you, I just want to say, dude, I couldn't take this Inter seriously with Vidal, Gagliardini, and I can't take them serious. Like, I'm sitting there having like I had like the other games on, and like
Yeah.
me, like I watch the Premier League, and of course
Mhm.
Inter is the main thing. So I'm watching Inter. I'm like, every time I'm looking, I can't take them serious, man. I couldn't. I'm like looking, like, what the heck? What am I watching? Is this a team that won the Scudetto? Like, does it work like this? You know what I
They're more
mean?
likely to fight than to score a goal.
It's like, what is this? The guy, like, three of them cannot even string two passes together with each other. Like, it's unbelievable. I'm watching Gagliardini trying to control the ball. It's 5 feet, and he has a 5 feet long feet as well. And then he's trying to control it again, trying to pass to Vidal, falls on his head, trying to play with his head. Vecino come, clear somebody. I'm like, what the heck? Who are these people? Get them out or do something,
The
Like, you're not
split
going to
that
lose.
he did in the first half when he did the fucking split.
It was like
saw
having
that?
a big rack of ribs in the middle of midfield, man. There was so
Don't
much
push
meat.
the ball across, and Gagliardini tried to backheel it. He just fell and did a split.
Man,
It's unbelievable. I don't know how you guys
Pass
watch
to
this
Inter.
game.
that's
Mo,
it.
that's what I said. It brought back past the Inter feeling. That's literally what it was.
Big
I
time.
just
Couldn't
wanna-
control, no connection.
I want to ask a question to you, Hoyan and Mo first. Hoyan, what was your reaction when you saw Andrea Rannochia hit a scissor kick to square it up at 2-2 after not even being in the box to defend Crotone for the equalizer?
The funny thing is, I'm not surprised because if you guys
Yeah.
remember, I don't know what match it was. He actually got a bicycle kick off once in a match. So
I think, correct me, it might have been in the round of 32 against Rapid Vienna when all the Icardi drama was happening and he scored and everyone was like, Mio Capitano.
Yes. Yes.
So I knew he had the aerobatics to be able to pull something off, but the timing was just perfect. The last minute, like into these past games, it could be a movie, it could be written like all hope is lost, everything's done. Inter's about to get out of the Coppa, or they're about to play the Super Coppa. Out of nowhere, a hero comes and happens to be the target. And the funny thing is, when the goal went in, I got a notification that says Edin Dzeko scored. I was like, okay, Edin Dzeko scored. Then I'm like, no, that's not Edin. That's the frog. That's Rannochia. What's going on? So even the people who were updating the score didn't even know who scored. So shout out to him, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Mo, what about you, man? When Rannochia scored that goal, were you actually watching the game live?
Yeah. I thought it was gonna chopped off. That's what I thought. I thought this is impossible. I'm seeing a dream.
It's where he makes the impossible happen. Andrea
Like,
Rannochia.
I'm looking. This is a dream. The guy scored a volley like this, a scorpion kick, and we're tied. At the end, we're gonna play this extra time, and the game is gonna be remembered that the game that Andrea Rannochia saved us with a scorpion kick. This is gonna be in the history in Inter Milan. This is gonna be it.
Taken down the ball. He could have hit it on the volley on the bounce, but no, my man let the ball bounce, turned his whole body, and said, "Fuck it, I'm going for a bicycle. I don't care what the hell happens. This ball's gonna go in, or it's gonna go to the row Z."
Anthony, do you have the comment? Do you have the comment pinned for people to join?
Yeah, I do for people to call in. Yeah. Because
guys,
yeah,
please call in. I want to hear your opinion. Please call. We have like 50 something people. Please call in. We want to hear you guys.
Yeah.
It's easy. Just click the link, and it's gonna take you through something that is super easy to set up. And then you are here with us celebrating.
Your name. If you don't know your name, don't join.
there are so many people in the chat today, man. What's going on, Ben? Again, Matija Jovic, thanks for coming in. Interesta 246.
But being serious now. Do we see the difference between our starters and our backup? This is kind of like it is. To be honest, this is worrying, right? Like this is worrying. It's not something that I can sleep and be comfortable that I have Gagliardi, because now I'm talking about what injury or two injuries away from being like a shit team in the midfield. To be honest,
Anthony.
Yo,
now that you've seen Radu in action,
yeah,
will you talk shit about Handanovic for the rest of the season when he statues?
If you watch my last 4 videos, I have been nothing but nice to the guy because he's been performing out of his skin. He's been doing very, very well. And we can all tell when he started doing well, it's when Anana landed and did his medical. So it's an ego thing. But I'm happy for that, bro. We're freaking Inter. Enough of this, I'm better than you in your position, therefore I deserve to play. Like, I still remember back when De Boer came to this club and we were in a situation where players and their agents were going up to management and training staff going, you play my player or you're going to be in big, big trouble. We're talking about your Gabby Goals and your Jao Marios and even other players as well. We're in a position right now where I agree with Mo, it's worrying, but we've never been in a better position to fix the holes that are in our squad. We don't have a mountain to climb here. We've got a few nooks and crannies to tweak. And I think that we're going to do that in the offseason. I have absolutely no doubt that with the fixtures we have left, this team and the squad players are good enough to rotate off the bench to go towards the title. After that, it's completely up to Marotta. And whatever decision he and Ozilio make, I'll be completely okay with it. What are you saying about that, Hoyan?
No, 100% I agree with you on that. It's good to have depth. I really want to give credit to Simone for having, the courage to put this lineup together, because I don't think nowhere in Conte's life would he ever get it to this level. Maybe he got today. Simone got lucky. Hopefully, he can learn from it to not do that much rotation. But at the same time, 100% agree with you. I trust my starting 11. Even because let's be honest, most of where have we ever seen Vidal and Vidal or Pacina playing together, we always had someone else step in, or one of them would come in and sub out for somebody else. But one thing I did notice, though, we did miss Brozovic big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Of course.
The thing with our midfield is that when you put these players together, the Vidal, Vecino, Gagliardini, they're terrible. Don't get me wrong. It should never happen again in a professional soccer game. But when you have the Barella, Brozovic, and that third person,
yes,
I'm confident. I don't care. Maybe Vecino's the only person I don't want in that position as a starter. But if you throw in Vidal, Gagliardini, Sensi, if he was to play and stay, fine. The problem is all three of them cannot be off the field. That's it. That in itself is a meme.
Alexis is going to play for Chile. Yeah, 100%. We already knew that. So we'll see if he gets injured or if not. Vidal's not traveling on international duty. He's suspended. But, don't worry too much about Chile. Worry more so about Lautaro Martinez coming up against Juan Cuadrado 3 days before the derby. Juan Cuadrado was put on this planet to do one thing, and that was to injure Inter players. And he's going to do it. Believe me. Hoyan, anything to add? I'm going to go to some of the comments soon because they're still flying in strong.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, did you guys talk about the Correa injury?
A little more so in the game, but I'm happy to talk about it now, especially if you and Mo can segue into it. We'll go with Mo first, man. That's a little soft. I know it's an unnecessary jump on the back from the Empoli player, but the way Correa goes down, like, you're a big dude, Mo, bro. What's this guy, like 188 centimeters? Like, I know it's slack. I don't like looking at people when they get injured. Of course, he didn't want to be injured, but he's looking a little glass-like.
That's just it's just kind of weird a little bit that this injury should not have happened if this guy was warmed up and he was 100%. Forget the jump on the back or whatever. This happens. It happens to all of us, Like, it happens to everybody. And we know this. If everybody here plays football, and we know that, to be honest, if you're not warmed up and you're not 100%, and you get on a challenge where you have to plant your foot turn, that's on the medical staff. It's not on him, and it's not on the other player, to be honest. That's on the medical staff. There are tests. These are professional players. They get a CT, they get a scan before the games and stuff like this. They can know if the muscle is already torn or the muscle has a scar in it. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not calling it, but I've been playing and I'm getting injuries lately, and I know what I'm talking about. This guy was not ready. This jump, when the people, Inter fans are calling the guy that jumped on his back, like, the injury is not from there. The injury was going to happen. If not this play, it was going to be the next play, to be honest. This is what it is.
Or
and
even
from
worse.
The medical staff.
Yeah, because that comes from having tight hamstrings.
Yes, exactly.
That's all it is. It's not because the guy jumped on his back and it was awkward. That's a torn ACL. That's a different story if there's an impact. But how many times have we seen a defender climb the guy on the back and nothing happens all the time? But he was physically not prepared for that. Like Mo was saying, that's on the staff. He was not 100% fit, and he should know better that if he's not 80%, if he's feeling tight in his
No,
hands,
that's not their decision, Mario. From what I know about the professional stuff, it's not their decision. They can put an input. They say, "I want to play." It's not. At this level of professionalism, it's not their decision at all. By the way, if the player tells you, "I feel okay," the doctors still have to clear you up. There's something there that you are clear to play, and clearly he was not
but
clear to
you
play.
you can't find a tight hamstring. You can only find it when it's torn.
Yeah, but of course, maybe you say that about, but yes, I understand. Maybe he didn't say it. He wanted to play. He thought I can push through it, and stuff like this. But 30 million down the drain. To be honest with you guys, 30 million down the drain. We could have gotten a better player with 30 million.
It's all already agreed and paid for. It has to be.
It's 30 an obligation to buy. It's an obligation to buy.
Thought so.
Which is something that is. And I can't remember exactly how old he is, Korea, but I don't think if someone can look this up.
He's 25 or something like that. 26.
I thought it was,
so he's
25,
young.
26.
We can still make money off this person, but he needs at least to get a 10 games run in.
27?
27.
Which still his next contract is the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get this guy, I don't think, to be honest with y'all, and on every Inter fan, Korea is not a long-term forward for Inter. This is not. If we want to grow, he's not. If we want to grow, he's not. If we want to grow, Lautaro needs to step up. We need like a Joaquin Correa is not going to be your top-notch striker that gets you quarterfinal Champions League or win you the league over and over. He's not. Maybe Lautaro might be, even though all of you know that I'm not a Lautaro fan, to be honest. I am not at all. But Lautaro has the characteristics, the characteristics to be that top striker that gets you 20 plus goals every season. Korea doesn't. And in a system like Inzaghi, and it looks like Inzaghi is going to stay here for a bit, Inzaghi likes two forwards, and Lautaro can be one of the forwards, but you can't have Lautaro and Korea. That's why we brought Dzeko. And that's the thing about Korea. He's a short-term plan for Inzaghi. He was a patch after Lukaku left, but he needs to find a form for us to benefit from him and invest somewhere else. But like this, nobody's going to buy that. He's going to turn into another Vecino, where he's on the bench or he's injured all the time and nobody's coming to offer him any money. And that's a problem financially for us.
The big thing I'm scared about is now we lost Correa. I think Correa, from what it looked like, I don't know if it's a torn, but definitely
that's a torn.
That's just yeah. So
it might not be, Mario. It might not be. It might be a first degree. We're gonna know, but it's a 4. It's a 4. I had the same injury about a month ago or 6 weeks, and you guys know that I went to Vegas and I played the tournament, 6 games in 3 days. It comes back. It needs a lot of work, and he is professional. I'm not a professional.
Yeah, they're on top of that.
Have they? Did they say exactly? Did they say exactly what it is, or are we just speculating?
No, the scans are tomorrow. So tomorrow they do a scans to know if it's torn or if it's first to second or third degree. Third degree, you might need a surgery, and that means he's out for the season at least until May. If it's a second degree, it's a 6 to 8 weeks. If it's a first degree, it's 3 to 6 weeks. But they will not know until they do the ultrasound on the muscle tomorrow.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see Christian setting up. I'm going to bring him in a second. But, man, how good is this comment right here? I love this. Bro, I know we're feeling like shit, but imagine how the Empoli players felt when they saw Barella, Hakan, Perisic, Dzeko, Alexis, and Sensi all on at the same time. Poor guys, man. They played out of their skin. But, yeah, that's just the sort of depth that we have. And
are we allowed 6 subs? Did we make 6 subs?
Yes.
How are we allowed that and Roma was not allowed that? How? I didn't get that.
You get four subbing terms or times with extra.
Not 3. Okay.
So you make the 3 during the 90 minutes and then the 4th in extra time, which was Sensi.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, let's bring Christian Rivas.
Yeah, I'm bringing him in now.
Hey,
what's going on, man?
Look, Christian we watched the game. We watched the game, and he was a little disappointed in the performance. He said, "I'm yet to watch Inter lose in my lifespan." So he was worried for a minute.
I like that, bro. That's a good luck charm right there, man. What did you think, Christian, bro, of the game?
Look, man, I know a lot of people don't agree with Inzaghi, but yo, we've been burnt out for the last few weeks, all those games. So I mean, I get why he made all those changes. He wasn't wrong. I mean, I wish it could have been a better result. We should have ended it in the first 90, but it is what it is. But all these players are good when they have starting players next to them.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like you're not gonna put Gagliardini in there where Vecino and Vidal. How often? You're not gonna put them on a daily basis. I mean, do I think they're good enough for the team? Not really. But you're not gonna put them starting every single game. Like that's the first time we've ever seen that midfield.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's the last time.
It was rough, man. There was way too much meat in
So
there.
again, Christian, like it's unbelievable that we have these three guys. We can like together in the field. It's unbelievable. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. See, the back line didn't worry me too much. Like, as much as we give DeMarco crap, me and Mario mainly, the back line wasn't the problem. It was the midfield. There was nothing going on in the midfield. There was zero connection between the midfielders, defenders, and the forwards. It literally went almost defense, long ball to Lautaro or Alexis. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it is what it is.
These guys cannot pass, Christian. These guys cannot pass. Not even one of them can pass. Like, they can break the play. They can jump on top of each other. They can break somebody's leg, but they can't pass.
They give it right back.
But let's look at the technical skills of these players. These three players are not the position they play. They're usually 3 CDMs. So you literally played a game 3 CDMs like 2016. You know?
2006.
Yeah.
With Mancini.
No, I'm talking like recent answer 2016. Where you had Gary Medel, freaking what's my boy's name? The Brazilian, the GOAT.
Felipe Melo.
Yeah, Felipe Melo, Gary Medel.
Fred.
You get what I mean? It felt like we had that on the field again.
Yeah.
Kill myself. I'm gonna hear these names and I kill myself. Like hear these names. Like what the
remember
heck,
when who is it? Mourinho used to use Rannochia as a striker?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Mourinho.
No, it couldn't have been Mourinho. It must have been Benitez.
No, it was Mancini.
Mancini?
I think Spalletti
it was Mancini.
Mancini.
Spalletti definitely did. I thought we were going back further. Yeah. Spalletti definitely did. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember Rannochia coming on when it was 0-0 against Benevento and slapping the first one in, bro.
We were there for that.
To be honest, guys, I just want to have a question to Christian. Christian, would you start Alexis over everybody else at this point?
Not over everybody else. I'm still starting Lautaro first. Lautaro was the first choice, and then I'd probably go Alexis over Dzeko. Dzeko's just been so out of form lately, but I get it. He's a target man. It's a completely different profile. You know, like, what's up with Correa? Yo, Mario, that reminds me of when you gave me that piggyback and when you jumped on my back in Milan. I should have pulled up with a hammy.
Those were the days.
No, one thing I like about Dzeko, even though his pace is not there, probably age is catching up with him, he fits the system better because I feel like we have an attacking formation where he's able to bring the ball down, distribute. When it comes to Sanchez and Lautaro, I feel like anytime we lobbing the ball up, who are we going to give it to? You know, both of them are under 6 feet tall, and we're just going to lose the ball. That's why I feel like Dzeko.
That being said, though, you got to remember Lautaro's banging a lot of headers, and you're acting like Lautaro doesn't get ups. He has hops.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like the build-up play, like if we're starting from the back all the time, which Inter does a lot, and Handanovic views that a lot as an escape to get the ball out of the back if he doesn't have any of the defenders to get it to. So, like as soon as you saw when Dzeko came in, you were able to get him the ball, and then he'll either pass it on to Perisic or give it back to Barella or Haka, whoever's in the middle, and then we can move our attack.
You got to remember something. Look what you just said, though. When Dzeko came on, he had Hakan and Barella to give it back to. Lautaro was dropping all the way back to the defense.
I don't know. Also about so far for Alexis Sanchez, for some reason, when we start him, I don't know, you guys can probably jump in, he doesn't have that same effect as when he comes off the bench. That's what I've noticed.
That's like that for everybody, man. But the thing is with Alexis, bro, he works better when he's not shackled and marked in tight spaces and has some room to move, because he doesn't even have a necessary one position. Like, I love seeing Alexis play, even when he drops deep to pick up that role for Hakan. He's really good when he does that. So
my bad.
That's all good. Like Alexis, at the end of the day, same as Dzeko, same as Lauti, you're always going to look better when you come off the bench, because as a forward, you're just running at tired defenders all the time. And that's why Empoli just stood no chance today when we brought our starters on, man. The kid's so cute, Christian, bro.
I see a lot of down heads as soon as we did that. But hopefully it doesn't have to get to that anymore. But at least at least our backline is going to be fresh. After this Venezia game is going to be the break for the players from South America, right?
Yeah. So, like, you win this game against Venezia, you're pretty much over what's called, even though Venezia's not the hardest game, you're over the hard block, what I was calling it, because in that hard block that had Atalanta, Lazio, Juve, Empoli, and Venezia, you get the 3 points on the weekend, you've earned yourself about a week's rest. And it's not like we need to come back and play Milan, Napoli, and a whole bunch of hard teams back to back. Take care of the Milan and the Napoli game, and then you just need to focus on Liverpool after that, you know? And at the end of the day, this Liverpool game is becoming more and more winnable by the week, or at least these ties are looking like we might be able to get something out of it. And I know how much Mario loves Liverpool as well, so we're definitely keen for that one, man. I cannot wait for that game, man. I know so many Liverpool fans, man, and they have already tattooed their name into the quarterfinals. I get it. They're the favorites, but I think they're actually in for a rude shock. And from a tactical perspective, I really think it's where Inter might stand a chance, because we're still set up as a counter-attacking team. At the end of the day, we play on the front foot because of our personnel. And in Serie A, you have the luxury of playing on the front foot when you've got these players. But this is still very much the Antonio Conte blueprint and a counter-attacking team at its best. And if Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, all of them want to throw the kitchen sink at us, we will be ready on the counter-attack. But it's just going to come down to finishing. And that's what Future Hendricks is saying here. Lautaro should be the second guy, never the main guy. And this was the season where we wanted him to come forward as the main guy. It looks like it could take another season or two. But we know strikers tend to peak a little bit later. How much patience are we going to have with this brother? He just renewed the contract. We're not going to knock back anything 50 plus, he's going to go for sure. I guarantee you we don't knock back anything 50 plus. What about you, Mario? You can start, and then we'll go around the table for this question.
If an offer comes for 50 plus, he goes. I don't know. I mean, we saw how reluctant we were to give up Lukaku. So for 50 million, I feel like the management would need a lot more. You have to give an offer you can't refuse. That's like 90-ish to 100. You're talking for.
I thought those offers were over pretty much when these offers are reserved for the cream of the crop. And no, if a club's dumb enough to put that money forward, by all means. But you know,
I think it's one of those things where if he were to leave for one of those bigger teams, he could become the next best striker, sort of thing. It's one of those things where at Inter, he's going to be a great striker. But if he goes to Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, he could be the best striker, sort of thing. Bayern, you know, where.
Hear me out. If we
Mo, before you do that, Mo, when you do say something, can you also segue into this? Because a fan has a question for you.
I wanted to talk about this too.
Cool.
We have Lautaro, who passes perfect, takes a long shot in spaces, and have prolonged finishing issues. Do you rate the position change to a CAM like Dybala did? So hear me out. Lautaro is a striker. He was born a striker. He is going to live like a striker. Dybala is a playmaker in a three front man formation. He
was a striker at Palermo.
But he was a converted striker, the guy that comes from deep, always on his left, comes from deep, stuff like this. He with Cavani, I remember these days, right? He used to be the provider to Cavani.
Yep.
Lautaro is an end man guy. Like the play ends with Lautaro. Even when Lukaku was here, by the way, Lukaku used to be the striker and the assist to Lautaro. So Lautaro is an end game guy. This is the guy that the play ends at him. If in a footballing term, this is what they call him. This is the ball ends here, and then it's the back of the net or a missed shot or something like this. He's not the guy that can be converted like Harry Kane, a little bit of a provider slash a striker, something like Benzema, who was, when Ronaldo turned to be the best striker in the world, Benzema said, you know what, I'm going to drop and I'm going to provide for this guy. Lautaro is not the guy. He doesn't have the passing abilities to play that killer pass. His passing is off a little bit. This is why I don't think Lautaro will be ever a playmaker. Second thing that Anthony asked about is why Lautaro, what is going to happen with Lautaro? If we win Scudetto this year, and we will, hopefully, because it looks like we are on track, and Lautaro gets 15 plus goals, which is, I think it's doable, because I think he has 9 already. I think an offer of 70 million. We are Serie A fans. You guys, I do Serie A and I do Premier League work, right? The guys have no idea what is happening. I doubt that every single scout watches Lautaro week in, week out. They don't. They look at the numbers at the end. They don't. And that's what's going to happen. If we win the Scudetto, it's going to be, you know what, let's bring this guy who scores 15 plus goals. How much is he rated on the market? It's 70 million plus. If anybody watched Lautaro last year, they would have thought this guy is not worth 50 million. But Tottenham already offered 60 million pounds and it was rejected. 60 million pounds means 65 million euros, and it was plus 10 bonuses if they qualify for Champions League. This is last year when he was not even the main guy, when Lukaku was on the picture.
Yeah.
So I think if we win Scudetto, the offers will come for him. However, are we going for Haaland? Are we going for Mbappe?
No.
So what are we selling Lautaro for? For finances again? I thought we already did the finances. So to hear me, if there is nobody in line to replace Lautaro, and a team winning Scudetto is not a team to build players. You get player that is ready to score tomorrow. So you get Haaland, you get the Lukaku from Inter, you get stuff like this. So I don't see any offer less than 60 gets offered to Inter at all. And I don't see Inter selling unless we have somebody big in line to come to the club.
Fair enough. I can't stick around for too much longer, so I'm going to go around the table for final words for everything. Whatever you guys want to bring forward, you can. I'll just start with man of the match. For me personally today, when I look back on it, who do you give it to? I guess you can give it to Alexis Sanchez for being the goal scorer and setting us on the right track. I'm still not comfortable giving it to him. You can't give it to any of the other forwards. You can give it to Rannochia. I mean, I would say he was one of the worst on the pitch up until that incredible goal. And you know he was, Mario, bro. You'll defend him till the death. But that's okay. That's okay. Cup football is meant for stuff like this. So Andrea Rannochia with a scissor kick, that's all you need to know to get the man of the match. I'm happy to give it to him, man.
It's an automatic 10 in my book.
He's scored it. He scored it, man. Hoyan, your last thoughts on the game. How you feeling going into Venezia? Who was your man of the match today?
If I start with man of the match, I'll give it to Sensi just for the fact that he's going out on loan, and this probably could be a gift for him. Hopefully he sparks over there.
That's a pity man of the match.
It's a pity, man.
Let's be honest.
Sensi was terrible before he scored, by the way. He put like 55 missed passes. To be honest.
His confidence went up when he scored that goal. His confidence went up. The man turned to, when we first got him, was it 2018, since a little bit. So just for the sympathy fact that this guy, he just had the absolute worst luck. I don't know. Maybe it's not his fault. It's made of glass. But I'll give it to him. The one thing I'll take away from this match is I like the reaction. Yes, we shouldn't have got to that point. Is there something you want, Anthony?
No, I was just about to say, I think we all kind of skipped out on Dumfries providing the 2 silent assists for the first 2 goals today, man. I know he wasn't electric, but at the end of the day, if we're going to talk stats and numbers, he probably has the biggest impact on this game.
One thing about Dumfries, I think it's over between Dumfries and Damian which one started, right? Is there still a debate there, or do we?
Yeah,
Dumfries definitely are.
No. Still, in a tough games, Damian would start. I promise.
100%, man. Yeah. Like even against Liverpool, I'd be starting Damian in the first leg, bro, just to read the game properly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There's still a gap. There's still a
No.
huge gap between them.
It's a luxury.
No, Mario. Mario. There's no
though.
huge gap. I still think Dumfries going forward has improved 300, 400%, to be honest with you. The problem is defensively, I don't know if he can stop Mane with Skriniar, right? This is the problem. And Robertson coming in, I would trust Darmian with the experience.
Darmian's a baller, man. He's had an amazing season so far. Prior to his injury, it was easy to distinguish who was starting over him and Dumfries. It was Darmian. So the timing, there's no real good time to get injured, but I said this in a lot of my reactions, the timing could not have been better for Denzel with the run of Serie A fixtures that we had. He had an easy Roma, Venezia, who else was in there? We had some really easy games. Salernitana, 5-0.
I can't believe that Anthony just said easy Roma. I just can't believe that happened.
Easy Roma. It was so easy. That was the easiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was easy. When the match reaction, I couldn't believe that we had it that easy, but it's unbelievable. I'm sorry for Roma fans.
Yeah, and then just last thing to end, a perfect weekend would be we get 3 points in the Milan versus Venezia, and that Bologna match officially gets forfeited because I heard they're supposed to make a decision on the 21st.
It's supposed to be today, pretty much. They're making a decision. Bologna hasn't put an appeal in yet, but I don't know. I'll reserve myself for now because you don't really want to be awarded 3 points at this point of the season. You'd rather it be awarded on match day 34 when we're already pissing the league by 10 points and no one can say anything.
No, I just want to Milan to see where we up by 2. So 6 more was at 8. So and then they could just keep scratching their heads on that. But,
there's a question down here for you, Hoyo.
Yes, I am Somali. Yes, look at that. They got top city Somali. Shout out to my food. A lot of people in Somalia definitely watch a lot of Italian football.
Cool. We can count you in to be the plug for our Somali region, then, man. Thanks for that.
I got you. I know there's a lot. You probably see a lot of them in Melbourne, Anthony. Is that where you're at, right?
No, I'm in Sydney, but I know I'm very, very familiar with the Somali and Sudanese presence in Melbourne, man. It's been decades deep. So yeah, definitely more of an African presence in Melbourne than there is in Sydney. That's for sure. Mario Delgado, thanks for coming in, man. You're a little later than usual, but it's good to see you. I don't know what to say about Sensi. Yes, nice goal, but you give him more minutes and he gets injured again. Pretty much the sentiment that we're all speaking on. All right, Mo, prediction for Venezia, please, and then we close this beautiful stream out.
Postponement.
But the precedent has been set that unless you're missing 12 players or something, like I'm happy for them to have 3 or 4 positive cases. They'll be weak.
I think it's gonna be postponed. It looks like I just look at the news now. It's coming that they are getting more positive results. But however, if we play Venezia with the players rested today, I'm expecting that we whoop them at least 3-1 or something. Venezia are good. They play good football. And every time we play against a team that play good football, we win with a margin. We struggle against other teams.
Yeah, more so. There were players that came on today, but everyone keep in mind, Bastoni, Handanovic, De Vrij, Skriniar, Brozovic. All 5 of them rested. They will be focused, 3 points. They'll be leading the mental charge in this game. No mistakes. I really don't think Venezia is going to score, Mo.
Well, it depends, to be honest. Lately, we have been having clean sheets, but now today and the game before, it's kind of a streak. Like these clean sheets are a streak. When you're on the streak, when it gets broken, you kind of start leaking one here, one there. That's the problem, which happens to every big team in the world, not only us.
Yeah, fair enough. Hoyan, your prediction for Venezia, and then we'll head off. If we do take the pitch against Venezia, obviously. You're muted, my man. Unmute yourself.
You guys hear me now?
Yep.
I would say probably if it does get played, and they are probably missing them here some key players, I'll probably say another 2-0, just like the first time. I hope either Dzeko or Lautaro can get a goal. I want our forward to score. I can't remember last time our forward scored from an open play goal.
Yeah.
So 2-0 for me.
I'm gonna go 3-0. To be honest, what about you, Mario?
I think I went with 2-1.
We're still gonna grind it out, eh? We're in that part of the season where there's no such thing as an easy game. Just get the 3 points. It doesn't matter how you get them.
Get the 3 points,
guys. Before you head out, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't liked the video yet, please do it. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
like the video.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll be back with a Venezia match preview, unless the headlines say that there will be no fixture. Thank you to everybody who came into the chat today. Forza Inter worldwide. Ciao, ragazzi.